To understand this artifact, you have to temporarily put aside religion. Today, it sits at the center of an intensive forensic investigation, analyzed by experts from 102 distinct scientific disciplines. The investigation focuses on time zero, the exact physical event that created the cloth. Forensic analysis of the stains provides an accurate physiological record of a body undergoing catastrophic trauma. Analysis of these stains reveals abnormal spikes in creatinine and ferritin. These specific chemical markers flood the bloodstream during severe dehydration, cardiovascular shock, and total kidney failure. This biochemical breakdown shows why the stains remained red for centuries. Normally, blood oxidizes the moment it leaves the body, turning black within days. However, under extreme and sustained physical torture, the liver releases massive amounts of bilirubin. As you can see, high concentrations of bilirubin preserve the visual redness of blood indefinitely. For a medieval artist to replicate this detail, they would have needed to artificially synthesize bilirubin, a chemical compound that wasn't isolated or understood until the 20th century. These stains function as a first-century autopsy. They preserve a biochemical reality that outpaces the scientific knowledge of the era the cloth supposedly came from. While the blood record is forensic, the image of the man himself presents a physical paradox. The discoloration reaches the outermost microfibrils and stops, penetrating to a depth of less than 200 nanometers, thinner than the wavelength of visible light. Paints and dyes naturally wick through the full diameter of linen threads, and heat conducts deeply into the fibers. No known artistic application produces a color change this shallow and uniform across a 14-foot cloth. This topological map translates the two-dimensional shading of the shroud into a precise 3D relief model. When researchers used a VP8 image analyzer, they discovered that the image's lightness and darkness correlate exactly to the physical distance between the cloth and a human body. This mathematical 3D spatial data is absent from all known paintings or conventional photographs. No known image formation process encodes this specific information from a flat surface. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain the image, including high-voltage corona discharge or a short, intense, and radially uniform burst of radiation. The image behaves physically like a microscopic scorch of light, indicating a physical phenomenon rather than an artistic creation. Historical accounts, including the legend of King Abgar, trace the movement of a mysterious burial cloth out of 1st century Jerusalem and toward the ancient city of Edessa. Specialized microvacuums extracted ancient dust, pollen, and organic fragments sealed deep within the linen's weave. These particles function as a record of the geographic regions the cloth has inhabited. Botanists identified heavy concentrations of Gundalia tourneforti pollen, a thistle native to the Jerusalem region. Researchers also recovered traces of limestone clay near the nose and knees that matches the soil profile of the Jerusalem-Hebron corridor. Mitochondrial DNA testing of the dust samples reveals haplogroups from the Middle East, India, North Africa, and Western Europe. These genetic markers align with ancient Silk Road trade routes, accumulating a biological record over centuries of cross-cultural handling. This accumulated biological memory documents a centuries-long transcontinental journey that exceeds the reach of a medieval European forger. In 1988, 3 independent laboratories used radiocarbon dating to test the cloth. All 3 returned dates between 1260 and 1390 AD, leading many to conclude the mystery was solved. However, chemical analysis later identified a fatal flaw in the sampling process. The laboratory material was taken from a single, heavily handled corner of the cloth that had been subjected to centuries of repairs. Subsequent testing proved the sampled area was chemically distinct from the rest of the cloth. It contained cotton fibers and a plant gum dye, indicating it was an invisible medieval repair patch woven into the original linen. The 1988 test captured the age of a medieval repair, leaving the timeline of the original 1st century linen unresolved. Modern research now utilizes artificial intelligence and neural networks to analyze high-resolution digital scans of the fabric. Through a technique called principal component analysis, the AI strips away visual noise and damage to analyze the underlying structure of the image. This geometric grid reveals a hidden layer of digital information. The AI detected a complex system of mathematical ratios. Every anatomical detail, The distance between eyes, hand proportions, and rib curvature obeys a strict geometric logic. This rigid mathematical order governs the placement of every shadow and highlight, acting as an encoded dataset rather than a traditional artistic rendering. Humanity currently maps the genome and explores the outer solar system, yet this single piece of fabric contains layered data that remains impossible to replicate with modern technology. The shroud persists as a phenomenon of biophysics and spatial intelligence, outlasting the scientific tools intended to categorize it.